The All India Save Education Committee successfully conducted a state-level education convention to submit the draft of the Pro-People Education Policy and Survey Report on NEP 2020 in Karnataka. This initiative comes in response to widespread opposition to the National Education Policy 2020, which many view as disastrous for India's education system. The student community and opposition across India have criticized the NEP 2020, framed by the Modi-led NDA government, as a threat to the education system. Massive protests were held, urging the withdrawal of the policy. In Karnataka, the Congress party, responding to public pressure, promised in its manifesto not to accept the NEP 2020. After the BJP government's defeat, the new government assured that it would prevent the implementation of the BJP's NEP 2020 in Karnataka. Previously, the All India Save Education Committee organized an educational conference with the participation of Cabinet Ministers MC Sudhakar and Madhu Bangarappa. Continuing the campaign, the committee held a state-level education convention, where eminent educationists and personalities submitted the draft of the Pro-People Education Policy and Survey Report on NEP 2020 in Karnataka. Falcon Women's Degree College students extended their support to the organization during the event. V. N. Rajshekhar, an office bearer of the Save Education Committee, criticized the BJP's education policy, alleging that it aimed at the commercialization, saffronization, and communalization of the education system. Rajshekhar emphasized the danger posed to the country and its future generations. He announced the submission of a public survey and a memorandum to the government.
Due to the public pressure, the Congress party here, in their election manifesto, they were forced to tell that if we come to power, we will not implement NEP. So then, after coming to power, again we saw they started dilly-dallying on the question of abolition, meaning giving up NEP. So we organized at the July 28th convention to evolve a pro-people education policy. So our initiative was now if a concrete proposal is not kept, what is the alternative? NEP we don't want, but what is the alternative? Now the NEP 2020, from pre-primary up to highest level, they want to commercialize. Along with that, they want to communalize the education. That is a very dangerous thing that's happening. So, we took this initiative, taking up all these suggestions. We have evolved this a draft pro-people education policy for Karnataka.
Dr. Abdul Subhan, Director of Falcon Institutions, expressed concern over the exclusion of Madrasa education from the NEP 2020, stating that it is not purely religious but a form of formal education. He highlighted that institutions run by Christian missionaries have also been excluded, which he deemed unacceptable.
It is nothing but extending the support to All India Save Education Committee for their pro-people recommendation which they have made. The student body of different schools, colleges, everybody had come. We have seen one of the college representatives from Falcon, they extended their support and presented their memorandum saying that they will they wholeheartedly support the recommendation and the pro-people draft of state education policy of Save Education Committee.
Prominent scientist Jia Mauryan and educationist Harun Kanthi Naskar announced the submission of the Pro-People Education Policy and Survey Report on NEP 2020 to the authorities concerned for consideration by the Siddaramaiah-led government. They emphasized the importance of a comprehensive and inclusive education policy aligned with the principles of the Constitution of India.
गवर्नमेंट ने जो इससे पहले वाली सरकार जो थी उसने एनईपी इम्प्लीमेंट किया था, उसके ऊपर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का प्रेशर था। लेकिन अभी जो है हमारी जो लास्ट कॉन्फ्रेंस, हमारी स्टेट कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई थी लास्ट टाइम इसी गांधी भवन में, उसमें 3 मिनिस्टर्स लोग आए थे, प्राइमरी हायर एजुकेशन, एंड दे ऑल प्रॉमिस्ड दैट वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू इम्प्लीमेंट, हम इस पॉलिसी को लागू नहीं करेंगे। उसीलिए उन्होंने हमसे रिक्वेस्ट किया था कि हमारा जो ये कमेटी है कर्नाटक का, ये कोई रिकमेंडेशन बनाए, अल्टरनेटिव पॉलिसी बनाए। तो हमने उसी हिसाब से डिस्कशन करने के बाद हमने लेक्चरर, प्रोफेसर, एकेडमिशियन जितने भी कंसर्न है जो भी इससे एजुकेशन से रिलेटेड जुड़े हुए हैं, हमने सबसे आइडिया लेकर के एक अपना पॉलिसी तैयार किया है, जिसको हम प्रो पीपल या लोगों को समर्थित पॉलिसी बनाया है, और उस पॉलिसी को आज हम चेयरमैन को सबमिट करने जा रहे हैं।
This memorandum, I have listened to the speech of Professor Abdul Subhan, and he has pointed out one very important question, that is the Muslim minority communities, that means the madrasa. Madrasa education is a formal education. This is not a religious education. This is a formal education, and this has been here in our country for years. And the national education policy, in the national education policy, there is no mention about this madrasa education. So, and also there is no mention about educational institutions which are run by other missionaries, Christian missionaries. So this is not supportable. So we support the views of Professor Abdul Subhan and the students who have given the AISCC a letter. We will duly consider this letter, and we are going to formulate an alternative education policy, and obviously we will consider this letter while formulating, finalizing that.